Hi, I'm Mayor Tim Balderman. I'd like to welcome you to this edition of Community Business Spotlight. Joining me today are Molly and Don from ATI Physical Therapy. Thanks for being here today, guys.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, my pleasure. Tell us a little bit about ATI Physical Therapy.
Well, ATI Physical Therapy is a locally owned business, started out of Joliet originally, and we do have 2 clinics in New Lenox. We have one right off of Route 30, which Don works at and runs, and we have one on 806 Laraway Road, which is where I work and I run that clinic.
Very good. And Don, of course, I've been with you on my back issues over in the Bluestone Commons area there. Appreciate the good work that you guys have done. That's certainly important. Tell us a little bit about the services that you provide.
Well, we do outpatient physical therapy. A lot of it is primarily towards orthopedic injuries, but we see a variety of things, from ankle injuries to neck, shoulder, low back. Age range, we see from young children all the way up into the elderly. So we see a variety of different things. Patients that are sent from orthopedic surgeons, from podiatrists, from primary care physicians, from internal medicine physicians, people that need to become more active, they need to regain range of motion, strength, decrease pain levels. So it's a really good variety. We see a lot of different type of diagnosis. We have a lot of different therapists that are trained in different areas or specialize or enjoy treating certain things. They get certifications. And we have a nice variety of therapists as well, from male to female, different age categories, and again, some sports specific, some more work with the elderly, a nice variety.
No doubt about it. Now, talk about these services that you provide. Physical therapy, I'm assuming, and I do know this, but is for an option prior to surgery as well as recovery from surgery, right?
That's correct. We do deal with a lot of pain problems prior to surgery as sort of a conservative measure before the surgical option. And we do have a lot of success with that for the most part. Now, there are people who do need to go ahead and have surgery afterward, but usually they're better prepared for it if they do the physical therapy with the stretching and strengthening beforehand. And then we can see them afterward, and they tend to have a very good result.
Very good. Now, how long has your office been open, your location?
Our location on Laraway Road has been open about 3.5 years now.
Okay.
Yes.
And Don, yours?
Since 03, so 2003 October.
2003 you've been. And you've moved from next to the Cardinal Fitness to over by the Starbucks and that strip, but you're still in the basic Bluestone.
Basic same area. We used to be right off of Route 30, right next to Cardinal Fitness. We're just right up in front by Starbucks. I think that's the easiest thing we tell our patients is we're right by Starbucks, and people tend to know that.
Well, they sure do. They sure do. Now, you have a van that can help pick patients up, is that correct, for both of your locations?
Yes, it's a big part of our business, and it's been a big key difference, I think, that we've offered as a company is we have a transportation service that'll come out and pick the patient up post-surgery, pre-surgery, patients that just do not have a vehicle. Maybe they don't have a child that can bring them there during the day. The nice thing about the service is it is free, and it's here in the community. We schedule it there in the clinic, and it's been a great thing for people. A lot of people that haven't had the opportunity to do physical therapy are now able to do so.
Very good. What do you like about New Lenox, about the location itself, about the people that you deal with here?
I love New Lenox because we have a lot of people who return to us. It becomes kind of a family environment. We have a lot of family members from former patients that we get to see. So it really feels like a family in New Lenox, and it's a very warm environment. We also have a lot of athletes, student athletes from the Laraway school districts as well as from Providence, and it's really nice to be able to interact with those student athletes as well.
So I imagine you do a lot of preventative talks with the student athletes as well, kind of preparing them so they don't have injuries, right? I mean,
we do, and you know, we do have athletic trainers that are staffed at several of the different Laraway schools who also help with that, and they help with the treatment of injuries as well.
Very good. Don, a question for you. You talk about how you have many males on staff, many females on staff. You've got a lot of attractive women. How did I get stuck with you? I'm just
We
curious.
planned it that way.
Is that what it was?
We did.
Okay, well, that's probably a good thing. Well, that's all good.
Forgive you a hard time.
Well, thank you, buddy. Well, you do a great job, that's for sure. You told us an awful lot about what you do. Of course, before surgery, after surgery, just some probably maintenance, if you will, for the human body. Anything else you'd like to add about ATI?
Sure. A couple extra services that we do provide that some people might not know about are free screenings at both of our clinics. People can feel free to come on in to either one of the clinics and say if they have, an injury they're worried about, maybe they haven't seen the physician yet, and we will provide a free medical screening for them, and we can help them figure out if they do need to go ahead and follow up with a physician, or if not, and just give them some kind of pain relief measures at that point. But people can feel free to either give us a ring or stop into either one of our clinics, and hopefully we can help them out with that.
And I think also one of the big things that as a company that we do and we really instill in our employees is that the environment that we provide, it's a lot of fun. It's a very friendly environment. You don't get that medical feel when you walk in, which patients in general is very hard sometimes to want to go to physical therapy because some of it can be difficult. But if you can have an environment that feels more like a gym atmosphere, we treat people like they're our family. We've done that since day one, and I think that's why we've done so well in the community and got to know so many different people and families. We really enjoy it. And one thing I've noticed working at other places and working here in New Lenox is the community involvement, just from families and the kids and people following up, and it's just a great place to work, and people are very friendly, very helpful. The other thing is we do work conditioning. So if we have any individuals that live in New Lenox that may be out of work, I know times are tough right now due to an injury, they're going maybe through a rehab process, but they need to get back to work. That is something that we offer, and the program is a little bit more aggressive than regular physical therapy, but it gets them prepared to go back as a carpenter, go back as an iron worker, get them physically fit and ready, make sure that their injury is gone or at least manageable. And that's something that we've done for years, and it's a very successful program as well.
No doubt about it. So pain management, rehabilitation, work conditioning, all of that. And I certainly agree the atmosphere there is fantastic. Everyone's very friendly. You run a very professional place, but it's nice and relaxed. And it's certainly, I bet the psychology is just as important as anything else as far as your well-being and your health.
Sure, and we love working there too, and I think that makes a difference. We really love what we do, and hopefully that comes across to our clients, and it creates a friendly and encouraging environment for everyone.
I think it certainly does, and you hear more and more from these kids, at least I do now that I've got a couple kids in college, a couple kids in high school. I hear more and more people talk about wanting to go to school for physical therapy. So I mean, there's obviously a need for it. As active as we are, as our generation, our baby boomer generation is getting older and is having some aches and pains, and we're living longer, I imagine there's a great need for people to stay involved in physical therapy.
Miley had mentioned the work we do a lot with the local high schools, and we've got kids probably every other month that come in and do observation. And we have parents that call in, or the child will call in and say, hey, I'm interested in this because I had physical therapy, can I come in and observe? And we're also open to that. We do that all the time so that somebody can find out, is that an interest to them?
Sure. Now what about your hours, your days and your hours?
We are generally open 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. 5 days a week. I know New Lenox East on Route 30, they also have some Saturday morning hours as well. So we try to help people out before work, after work. And
exactly. We're there a lot, and we love it. And the one thing that we are is we're very flexible as well. So if somebody has a crazy work schedule that changes every week, or they just can't get there till late, we'll work with them to make sure that we can get them in at a time that's convenient. We can take care of them. And that's something that we don't, we have these standard hours, but we'll work with the patients and make sure that they're seen.
Definitely.
That's fantastic, because there's nothing more important than someone's health. So
absolutely.
Well, I appreciate the great job that you both do, the service that you provide for the people in New Lenox, and I want to thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I want to thank all of you for watching this edition of Community Business Spotlight.